We don't know no, but we know no.
You may have heard about the cruise ship that's been stranded for days near Cape Verde. They had a rare virus outbreak that left 3 people dead and a few more sick. And it's allegedly due to a thing called the Hantavirus, which is, listen to this, an airborne virus that comes from rodents' droppings, urine, or saliva, and that also transmits from human to human. What was the COVID story again? It came from a bat and a pangolin in some wet market. And do you remember in January 2020, the people stranded on the Italian ship? A lot of similarities. But wait, in this one, there's a plot twist. One woman left the ship and collapsed at the airport in Johannesburg, probably infecting other people, just like in the movie Contagion. Now, the fake news media is sharing this blogger's video on purpose, trying to spread fear amongst us.
All we want right now is to feel safe.
You can act like a man! What's wrong with you?
These fear campaigns usually starts with the WHO saying there's nothing to worry about, but we're monitoring the situation in case people fall for it. And that's when they crank the story, the fear meter, and the mandates.
So yeah, guys, Hantavirus. And it looks to me like this is fake. If you ask me, is my opinion, and they're trying to lock us down again. But let's get into this.
Fuck is dumb enough to fall for this fake virus garbage again? Are we really gonna go down this rabbit hole one more time? Because if you're dumb enough to fall for that, well, you deserve what's coming.
Hantavirus came from Patagonia, came from Argentina. Let's put our tinfoils on for a second, okay? What else has gone in Patagonia this year? A bunch of fires were set in Patagonia this year. We can trace back who that was. 300, I cannot finger coordination this enough. 300 Israeli refugees arrived in Argentina.
So this virus is spreading and it's already affected people from Britain, France, America. And yeah, guys, I just think this is another plot for them to lock us down. They're starting to realize everybody's waking up to the darkness that's happening in the world. Now let's have a look at this. Where did the hantavirus outbreak start and where has it spread? The US and France are the latest to confirm hantavirus cases as evacuations from a cruise ship are underway. A United States citizen who was on the hantavirus-hit MV Hondius cruise ship is the latest to test positive for the virus, while a French traveler has developed symptoms as the ship is being evacuated and passengers are returning to their home countries. Passengers began flying home on military and government planes after the ship anchored near Tenerife, the largest of Spain's Canary Islands, on Sunday. At least 8 people who were on board of the ship had earlier been confirmed or suspected of having contracted hantavirus. 3 people have died while at least 1 person is in intensive care. Previously, officials from the Spanish Ministry of Health, the World Health Organization, and the cruise company Ocean-Wide Expeditions has said none of the more than 140 people who had been on board the MV Hondius were showing symptoms of the virus, but that has since changed. As passengers are being flown home for testing and monitoring, health officials are racing to determine where and how the outbreak may have started. There are no conclusive answers yet, but the trial has led investigators to Argentina, from which the MV Hondius departed on April the 1st. Now guys, this virus comes from rat urine, so I don't know if there was rats on board on this ship, but to me it just seems dodgy, guys.
Wouldn't it be crazy if governments around the world have mutated the hantavirus in order to make it transmissible from human to human?
Out the gate, I'd just like to point out that the U.S. Army filed a patent for the hantavirus vaccine back in 1994, so that's interesting. And actually, during COVID, during March 2020, there was a mysterious hantavirus incident in China where a man died on a bus. That's eerie. That creeps me the fuck out. We've had multiple reports of Americans getting sick in new weird ways. We've all been through COVID at this point, but apparently people are getting sick with something new, feels different, you know, same sort of symptoms, but yeah. And now, of course, let's talk about the human-to-human transmission of killer hantavirus on the ship.
Up until recently, the virus only got into humans by, like, eating rat shit and piss.
So what I want to know, if this comes from rat poo or rat urine, then how was it on the ship? Did someone eat it? No, guys, this is definitely dodgy.
French person who never set foot on this cruise ship has now tested positive for this Andes virus, which is the substrain of the hantavirus that can spread from person to person. They contracted it from the passenger who died that was on the plane. And if you remember what I've said on previous videos is that they are now tracking everybody on that plane that rode with the victim who passed away. Now, previously, investigators had been using a theory that the elderly couple had been bird watching in Argentina and they picked it up and brought it back to the ship. If you remember, I said on my last video as well that there was a Swiss man who was on this ship a month prior to all of this. He is now home. He recently got an email from the cruise ship line, tested positive for this Andes virus. No word yet on his wife's status. Remember, this virus can lay dormant for up to 8 weeks. It has a 40% mortality rate, which is 4 out of 10 people, and it is spread by respiratory droplets. This ship is headed to the Canary Islands where they're going to dock at Tenerife. The local officials are trying to push back, but ultimately the Prime Minister of Spain is saying that they are going to allow them to dock. They're going to quarantine all of the Spaniards at a military hospital, and then the rest of the people will go immediately back to their own countries instead of quarantining in place. No word yet if they're going to be quarantined when they get back to their countries. I would hope so.
What actually kind of intrigued me more, Natalia, about what you said is a colleague told me that there was like 100,000 articles written around the world on hantavirus in the last couple of days. And that's not typical for a hantavirus outbreak. Certainly there's always attention and people get scared, but like that's the other thing with COVID. It was COVID 24/7. And then when you said in your intro about how it seems to be driven by influencers, I'm sorry if I'm getting too like I don't know. I actually never want to use the word tin hat because I'm not a tin hat, but these patterns are anomalous. Why, with just this little outbreak of a few cases, suddenly like it's consuming the world's media cycle? Like for instance, I'm on talking about it today. It's because it's being driven by something.
So 100,000 articles have been published since this outbreak, and it is weird. And the reality of it is they think we're stupid, guys. They must do.
This is an IQ test, and it may just be a memory test. Do you remember monkeypox? Do you remember bird flu? Do you remember every time they've tried to bring back the COVID lockdowns? The laptop class longs for the days when they could just sit at home and order their crap on Amazon and get their groceries delivered, never go out and see anybody and collect a paycheck, and have it their way. And look, we don't need to go back to that. That was a complete failure, the whole response to COVID, and don't let them bring it back. This is an IQ test at this point.
They think we're stupid, and it is an IQ test to see if we'll fall for it again. But I'm afraid we won't. But this story gets even weirder, guys. The American on the ship that apparently got the coronavirus, yeah, he was caught before telling people in COVID-19 to get their jabs. So it looks like we have a few stage actors involved.
Gorgeous, gorgeous girls get vaccinated. Gorgeous vaccinated girls get boosted. And gorgeous boosted girls get boosted again.
So that's the clip of him back when COVID broke out telling people to get their jabs. But here he is again. How weird, guys. Have a look at this.
I wouldn't make a video like this, but I feel like I need to say something, so I wrote a few things down.
Telling you guys right now, the words that he is reading, you could watch his eyes keep going back and forth. He's clearly reading a script. These words are not his.
I am currently on board the MV Hondius, and what's happening right now is very real for all of us here.
Sure, it's very real, y'all. We're praying for your safety.
We're not just a story. We're not just headlines. We're people. People with families, with lives, with people waiting for us at home.
This is how the media deceives you guys. They want you in your feels. They want you scared. They want you worried about what is about to come, but nothing is happening.
There's a lot of uncertainty, and that's the hardest part. All we want right now is to feel safe, to have clarity, and to get home. So if you're seeing coverage about this, just remember that there are real people behind it.
Yes, real people like Bill Gates, Dr. Fauci, the WHO, the WEF, the CDC, they're all fucking working together.
And that this isn't something happening somewhere far away. It's happening to us right now.
Again, more yapping to keep you guys scared and in fear.
I'll share more when I can, but for now, I just ask for your kindness and understanding. Thank you.
There is something really off about this story and about this virus. Well, let me know your thoughts, guys. Let me know in the comments if you think this is real or you think this is another plot to lock us down. And make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Dark Truth Unfiltered.